Shalom, shalom, and welcome once again, everyone, to this Shabbat night talk. My name is Chief Uzi Alewi. I am one of the teachers at Congregation Bay D.C.B, CHOKMAH BINAH. Welcome once again to another Friday night talk. Been off for a couple of weeks, but I'm back. I had a beautiful vacation, spent some time with my family that I hadn't seen in a year. So I'm glad to be back here with you all, giving glory to the Most High God and thanking the Most High God for sparing my life, because that plane ride, can't take that for granted and thinking that we're gonna be safe all the time when we up on those planes. But I thank the Creator for allowing me to go there safely and return back safely. I had 2 weeks off. I enjoyed it. I didn't get to go to no sand, but I got to enjoy and see people, see my people, and go out into town and just enjoy the time out there. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone is well. I hope that everyone has had a prosperous past 2 weeks, and if it hasn't gone that well with you, hoping and praying that the Most High God be with you and protect you. Thank you the Most High for food, clothing, and shelter, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Thanking the Creator for all things and everything. All right. This is the High Holy Shabbat day. We must give glory and glorify this great King. But I'm not sure if many of you know that one of our brother congregations, BINAH Beit Yisrael, they suffered a devastating fire this past week, and just wanted you guys to know that they need all of our helps. You know what I mean? So BINAH Beit Yisrael, they had a really bad fire this past week, and they need all of our help. All of us brothers and sisters who are able to, we need to try to help them out. The roof of their place of worship caught on fire, and they were doing some work up there, and the roof caught on fire. So now they need our help. So I'm going to post in here the link to the GoFundMe that we could take care of tomorrow night or any other day. All right, so there it is. That's the link there. Also, I'm going to post it on our I'm going to post it on our regular YouTube chat now. It's for everyone out there. I know this is kind of early for a lot of people. Some people are still eating, but I don't want to be on here all night. All right, so that's the link. If you catch it later, you already know what it is, the GoFundMe to help the brothers and sisters from BINAH. Yeah, they had a real bad fire. Our brothers and sisters are without a place for a while, but I know that the Most High God will bless them to get back into their spot. It's going to take a lot of hard work, dedication, but if you stick together, it it will work out. And I'm speaking from experience. In 2003, we had a fire at CHOKMAH Yisrael that burnt down the whole top floor. Then the main floor, the main floor where you walk in, had a lot of water damage, and we basically had to rebuild from the floor up. And in that period of time, we had people that, and this is what I'm bringing this out to the people that are our brothers and sisters from BINAH, and why you have to be resolved, because some people are going to abandon ship, some people are going to find somewhere else to go, and the core of the people are the ones who are going to stay there and see it out. But I know that the Most High God will bless the works of your hands, even in the midst of all of that. So just remember that, and stay strong in our prayers. We ask that our prayers and that our donations and what we have in mind. I mean, this is one of the biggest places that we, as the children of Israel, we straight our own. You know, there's this synagogue. It used to be a synagogue, and then they bought it out from the Europeans, I believe about over 50 years ago. I believe that's Rabbi Yirmiyahu, one of the students of Rabbi Matthew. So I'm happy to see y'all once again. I'm happy that I could be here with y'all again. Y'all know I tried Friday nights, but it didn't work out. The internet was so slow down there. Shalom, I miss y'all also. I miss y'all also. I miss you also, Sister Edna, and everybody else. Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. My sister Dina. We back on the money. We're here. And we thank the Most High God for all things. So, how was everyone's week? I hope that everyone's week was good. And so many things that I missed, but I saw. You see these rash of people just going crazy and shooting up people and doing just whatever they want to do. It's just crazy. It's ridiculous. And it's unfortunate, but you know, this is the times that we live in right now. And these are the conditions of the battle. So let's all just stay safe out there. Keep in contact. Let somebody know where you're at. And because these are the times that we're living in. So I just want everybody to know to be safe and to always come before Yah and ask God, Yah, to protect you. All right? That's most important. Even in these times, because times is getting worse, and you see the way that the world is going to, and you see all of the things and the atrocities that are happening. They act like all this stuff is new, you know, with this stuff, how these men treat these women. Heck, The president of the United States said he just used to grab them by their privates. And he got elected. So what do you think everybody else used to do? You know, so it's so hypocritical sometimes for people to make comments, but you voted in, you got elected the man who said that it was okay to grab them, that sometimes you got to grab them by their privates. He just walks up to them and grab them by their privates. So that's the world we live in. Void of morals, void of understanding, everything goes. People just do what they want to do, and it's okay. So we just have to be aware, sisters. You just have to keep that line up, keep that seriousness up, and let people know that there's certain lines that they should not cross with you. And if somebody goes beyond that line or tries to do something to try to come at you or do certain things at you, then you must report them. You must say something about it. All right. So these are things that we have to keep in mind, because you see, our sisters are precious. Our sisters are precious, and we wouldn't want you to be harmed. And we have to talk about all these things. And sometimes people might not talk to you about these things, but we need to talk to you about this. Never feel any type of pressure to have to do something to keep a job, to do certain type of things, or to want to be in, to fit in with anything. All right. So just keeping that in mind. Can you guys just give me 1 second here? 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I just want to talk a little bit about that. Sisters, that's why we always teach that our sisters have to be careful of what they do, because we're living in a society in a time where it's perverse. There's certain rules, there's certain things that you have to know, because we're living in a time where the president of the United States said that he just used to walk up to women and grab them by the private. So this is the atmosphere that's out there. This is what is in the ether, as they say. So now you see all these allegations and all these are coming out against all these men of power. You see, harassment is, especially sexual harassment of the type, is when you feel forced to have to accept behavior from a particular person, especially if they are in a position of power. Not solely is it if a person is in a position of power, but most of the times it's when a person is in a position of power, they try to use their position in order to make people feel like they're obligated to give them some type of favors because they are in that position of power. It could be your boss, your supervisor, it could be the CEO of the company. Never make yourself feel like you have to do something in order to keep a job or to do anything like that. This is for our sisters. You might feel funny, you might feel that type of pressure or whatever, but live on your integrity and live on your righteousness rather than play yourself out or feel like you have to play yourself out in order to keep a job. Elionel Orona, torah for sharing your experience in Panama. All praises. Hallelujah. You know what I do. I can't go somewhere and not do what I usually do. I went on a vacation and I went to to see certain places, and my brother was taking me around, and then I ended up just talking about the plight of our people in Panama and how they got there. And I got to speak to a couple of people, my brother being one of them, and another sister, who broke down the history of how the transatlantic slave trade affected the people of Panama and how the slaves got there. So actually, my vacation was productive, and I enjoyed doing that. It was right. It was right down my alley, as they say. So I thank the Creator for that. I had fun, and it was enlightening at the same time. Yeah. So, like I was saying, sisters, you should not feel forced to have to do something that you do not want to do. You understand? You do not have to feel forced to do something you should not have to do. There's certain things that you should know as women. Maybe they weren't taught to some of you, but certain things about when you go out, because we're living in a bad time, and I just feel like we need to have a real conversation. We need to have a real talk, a family talk, because of the atmosphere. Sometimes, sisters go out, and you might go out with a girlfriend, or you might go out with someone. You leave a drink or something by a table, and somebody comes and pours something in it. It's like somebody said before, once you leave a drink and you don't take it with you, that's no longer your drink. You have to be careful, and you have to know what's going on out there and the temperature of all the things that are going out there, because y'all are precious, and we wouldn't want to see anything happen to you. This is why a lot of times some people, some leaders, they always say that our sisters should not be in certain establishments. If you're an Israelite sister, you shouldn't be found in certain establishments, because those establishments, all it's going to bring is evil or bad, and you don't know who's out there lurking and trying to, do y'all harm. There's savages out there. A couple of weeks ago, New York City, there was 2 police officers that raped the 18-year-old girl, allegedly raped the 18-year-old girl, but they took her in the police van, and they had their way with her. So this is the atmosphere of what's out there and what people are doing. And we have to be very careful with everything that's transpiring out there. We have to be careful, and we have to protect ourselves. So sisters, I just want you to be aware, protect yourselves, know what's happening out there, examine everything that's going on out there. Don't take things for granted. Be very observant, be vigilant, protect yourself at all times. Don't allow yourselves to engage into certain type of conversations or behavior that somebody will try to take advantage of you or do certain things to you. Like I said, you sisters are very precious. So yes, Princess Naomi, I had a great time. Thanking the Most High God for bringing me back safely, and I appreciate everybody. I got to see my brother's new house. I got to enjoy it. I'm glad he had air conditioning in my room, because it was hot down there, and it was like every day it was like it's raining season, so it was like a torrential rainstorm every day. But the rain down there is like it starts and then it stops, it starts and stops, and the sun comes back out. So You enjoy it. You just got to walk with your umbrella or your rain jacket or whatever, your poncho, and you be all right. So thank you the Most High for that. I also got to meet my one of my teachers, Chief Almost Made the Most High, God bless his memory. I got to meet his sister once again, the Barbara, and she's coming up in age. She's up there in age, but she's holding on and she's strong. Torah YAH for that. And I got to sit down and speak to her. She got to tell me a little bit about her younger brothers, my teacher, which is her younger brother, the way he started out and the way he grew up. So that was great. So once again, sisters, just be careful out there. Be aware. Know what you're doing. Know the places that you're going to. Understand situations. Sometimes as daughters of Zion, you might be naive to certain things, but you have to become wise even in the things that are out there. You know what I'm saying? You have to gain understanding of certain things in certain situations. Not for you to fit in with everyone, but in order to be able to be aware and know and not be out of the loop. So knowledge is the key. The Most High God tells us, to continuously seek knowledge, or Solomon better said, to continuously seek it. Wear it like a chain around your neck. Put on wisdom and walk with it. So these are all things that we have to do in order for the Most High, in order for us to stay on point, which is important. So we don't want to see any of us get hurt. Then we might have to hurt someone because they hurt y'all. So we just want to make sure that our people are good and safe. Interesting that like for some of you that are just joining on, like I said, I went to Panama, and you could catch my Facebook links that I put up there. I went to Portobello and another place called Nombre de Dios, the name of God. And these are essential in the transatlantic slave trade because these are ports where they brought in, our brothers and sisters into slavery in that coast. Those are the blacks that they brought in there. Now, later in history, in the early 1900s, a lot of black people came free of will from Barbados and places like Jamaica, St. Kitts, and different Caribbean islands, but mainly from Barbados, a lot from Jamaica, to work on the construction of the Panama Canal. So those were not the people who went through the slavery during that time, but they did go through the segregation of the Panama Canal zone workers, where the white workers were being paid in gold, the black workers were being paid in silver. So the Americans carried that segregationist system down to Panama as they were building the canal, because they were living it up here. So wherever they went, they carried it. So the ones who did come there to work on the canal, they did face that discrimination. So but there were slaves that were in Panama before those brothers and sisters got there. So, and now it's just a big melting pot of everybody mixing with everybody. You still got black people, that live on the coastal lands and are very aware of their past. So that's a good thing. All right. So once again, just making an announcement to everyone that don't forget to help out our brothers and sisters from BINAH. Not at this moment, but I put the link on the chat to how you could donate to them tomorrow night. This is the Shabbat, so I wouldn't encourage you to make that donation on the Shabbat day. But I will tomorrow throughout the day or in the afternoon, when we almost at the end of the afternoon service, I'm going to put the link up there so that we could help out and help our brothers and sisters rebuild their place. So I thank the Most High God for life and that no one got hurt in there, you know. Let's go to Proverbs 24. I just want to go through one proverb today. I just chose this one because um, just to see what it has in it. All right. Shabbat Shalom, you read Yisrael. So it says, be not thou envious of evil men, neither desire to be with them, for their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk mischief. So don't envy an evil person, right? Don't envy the people who are doing wrong and they look like they're getting away with it and they G'ing off and they doing the things that they doing. Says neither desire to be with them. Don't desire to be with them. Jump and run and get in the cars and because you know what they're doing. You know, there's a bunch of Israelites, young men and young women who in their mind they desire to be like everyone out there, and some take the steps even forward to try to emulate a lifestyle that they were not brought up in. Thus, they got one foot in and one foot out. You know, they act as if they have to prove something or get some type of reputation in the streets or something like that. But the Most High God didn't ask for us to get a reputation. The Most High God asks us to be righteous. He asked us to walk before him. And then when we walk before him, we will be bold as a lion. People won't mess with you if you walk with God. You know, and if they do mess with you, the Most High God is giving you so much confidence and so much resolve that, hey man, it'll be nothing. But we can't have one foot in and one foot out and act as if we're serving God or we serving the Creator. That's crazy. We have to be full all the way in with this great King. You see, man, you know, some of us, we take God as a joke, but God is not a joke. This is a real God that we're talking about. This is the one who created the heavens and the earth. And he can't be compared to anyone or anything. So for their heart study of destruction and their lips talk of mischief. Yeah, let's go rob this bank. Let's go cash out. You're doing all these things as an Israelite. You know, cashing out is when they steal people identities, you know, and put it on a card and you could access people bank accounts and credit cards accounts and you begin to pull out money from there. That's cashing out. And that's an Israelite, you doing that. Don't you know that you're stealing from someone? You're robbing someone. You're depriving someone of a peace of mind because now they worried about someone stole their identity. If you steal someone's identity, you stole. You get what I'm saying? You steal someone's identity, you stole. Go to the gas station and you swipe and you're doing all these type of things. That's stealing. So we don't want to be involved with mischief. We don't want to be involved with things that's going to bring us destruction, that going to cause us to end up in jail, things that are going to cause us to end up 6 feet under. Those are things that we should avoid as Israelites and walk with Yah. Walk in the faith of Yah. Forget your friends or the people that you call friends because those are not really your friends. You know who your friends are? Your friends are those who do what you do. Those are your friends. Those are the people that you should count on. It reads here, through wisdom is a house built, and by understanding it is established, and by knowledge are the chambers filled with all precious and pleasant riches. So through wisdom is a house built. A house is not built with yelling and screaming. It's not built with you going at your wife and your wife going at you. A wife is built with wisdom. That's how you build it. It goes and it says, and by understanding it is established. By an understanding is it established. The understanding is that we serve Yah, that we walk in the paths of righteousness, that this is what we do. And then it goes on and it says, and by knowledge are the chambers filled with all precious and pleasant riches. So after you establish your house and after you do all these things and you are on the same page, now you go and through your knowledge of whatever it is, your work or whatever the God has blessed you with, now you begin to fill your chambers. You got your 65-inch TV, you know, with your Bose surround system. Most High God didn't tell us we can't have none of this. But first we have to get the foundation straight. And once we get the foundation straight, then we could move on and we could do the things that we need to do. So those are the things that we have to work on to establish righteousness and establish a righteous family. Goes on and it says, a wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. So the wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. For with the wise advised thou shalt make thy, for with wise advised thou shalt make thy war, and in the multitude of counselors there is victory. So a wise man is strong. He's strong of what? He's strong of mind, right? Yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. You increase strength of mind. So if you constantly teaching, thinking and meditating in this Torah, your mind is going to get strong. It says, for with wise advice thou shalt make thy war. With wise advice thou shalt make thy war. Whatever your war might be. It don't have to be a physical war. Could be a mental war. It could be something that you're going through with someone. Could be something that you're going through with your boss, with your supervisor. Could be something that you're going through with a spouse. Could be something that you're going through with a sibling or with a child. But the wisdom that you gain is what makes you strong. The understanding that you gain is what makes you mentally strong. Everything is not physical. I mean, this is speaking about also a physical thing, a physical war, right? Because it says, for with wise advice thou shalt make thy war. So before you go to war, you take wise advice, you plan out, you strategize what you're going to do before you do it, right? And you get, and it says, and in the multitude of counselors, there is victory. In the multitude of counselors. Now, a lot of times people like making decisions on their own. And then when it doesn't work out, they wonder why it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out because when you make decisions or when you're making decisions, you should always have an opposing point with someone pointing it out, because from the opposing point, you might see something that you might have not seen before. That's why you have, in the government, you have dissenting points, right? People who oppose something that you might say, and you have to listen to them because their point might be something that you might have overlooked. So those are things that we have to keep in mind. And those are things that we have to think about. All right? Those are things. So in the multitude of counselors, there's victory. So in the multitude of more than one person understanding who think they know it all and that everything goes through them and the last word stops with me and all that type of stuff, that's not good. You won't make good decisions that way. Always look from people's opinion to come to a conclusion, because if then you come to a consensus that you could be sure in what you have decided, rather than, oh man, you know, I have my doubts about this, I have my doubts about that, and now look, this thing didn't work out. No. Just take counsel and let Yah be with you. It says here, wisdom is it says, unattainable to a fool as quarrels. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. So wisdom is as unattainable to a fool as quarrels. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. So quarrels is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like what's in the seas. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. because he can't attain wisdom. So if you don't study and you don't attain this understanding and wisdom, when it's time for you to speak, you won't be able to speak because you haven't put in the time to obtain wisdom. So that wisdom is unattainable to you because you don't put in the time. So in order for us to show ourselves approved, we have to study. Everyone should study. Everyone should know certain precepts and be able to break it down. Not having to call your brother or your sister to help you with something because you don't know how to study or find certain things. You know? So those are things we have to keep in mind. It says here, he that deviseth to do evil, men shall call him a mischievous person. When you devise to do evil, people call you mischievous. But when you devise to do evil, you're really evil. You're really wicked. You know, mischievous in this English language might mean something different, but if you devise to do evil, then you're evil. If you devise to do wickedness, then you're wicked. That's what you are. It says here, the thought of the foolish is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. The thought of the foolish is sin. Wow. So that means you could sin with your mind. Just the things that you think are sinful. So beware of what you think, because it could be sinful. And the scorner is an abomination to men. The scorner is an abhorrence. Right? The scorner, the hateful person, it's an abomination to men. So you walking around and you just hating people, and you hate this one, and what this and what that, and these people are evil and these people are wicked, but you never look at yourself. Those are things that we have to keep in mind. You can't keep pointing the finger, because when you point one finger, they say you got when you point a finger out, you got three pointing back at you, and the thumb is pointing straight up. So watch how you condemn people and how you talk about people. It says here, it says, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small indeed. So adversity comes to us all. We're going to have adversity in our lives. That's life, right? And this is my advice to our brothers and sisters from Ben Yadad, if any of you are listening. If adversity comes, this is an adverse situation that you're facing. This is something that you definitely, some of you have never gone through. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from someone that doesn't know. But this is adversity. Winter's coming in. You don't know the decisions that you're going to make, how you're going to do, and the moves that you're going to make. But stay strong. And at the end of it, Yah will be with you and will help you. But you have to have trust and faith in him and do all the right things before God so that he could bless you. Sometimes a blessing comes in what seems to be a tragedy. But we just don't see it because Yah just don't operate the way we operate. We think a lot of times that God just operates in the way that we do, but sometimes our blessings come out of tragedy. Yeah. Sometimes our blessings come out of tragedy. So just stay the course, because you don't want to be counted as this. It says, if thou faint in the day of adversity, right? So if you fall weak because now I don't have a place to go, so I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to just revert to doing whatever I want to do, or do what and be who I want to be, right? It says thy strength is small indeed. So don't be one that's counted as your strength being small. This is the time where you're supposed to bow out your chest. You're supposed to strengthen yourself. It says what? Tie down your girdle and put on your boots and all the cliches and all the things that people say. This is the time. and stay strong. Stay strong. Give me 1 second here. Shalom, what's up, Iman? Shabbat Shalom. Hallelujah.
I wanted to share some testimony
Okay.
of the Most High and a couple of things that big things really, that He's done for me. I don't want to minimize nothing that He do. Everything He do is great indeed.
Hallelujah.
I just recently was blessed with a position that I didn't even know that was coming my way to work with the state.
Okay.
And I had been searching for something for a while. I had been doing some other little things at home, but I had been searching for something where I could, really, kind of build on for my family, my Ish and my family.
Right.
Help him out, help him strengthen up some stuff.
Right.
And I kept asking the Father, I kept asking and praying, Father, please, my faith is with you. I am not going to take a job where I have to transgress my holy days and my obligations.
Right.
And so, it took a while. It took about 6 to 8 months, but I prayed and I stayed fast to it. And when the position came along, I was shocked a little bit, and because they were saying that not shocked at what the Father could do, but shocked that they didn't have any requirements for me to work the weekends or nothing. I could work, early days and stuff.
Right.
When I got into the position, before I went there, I prayed every day.
Right.
I prayed for the Father to give me favor amongst my coworkers and amongst the people that are in charge. I prayed for protection. I prayed for peace on the job. I prayed for harmony on that job. And I prayed for safety on that job.
Right.
I pray that He make my enemies, my allies, and my footstool, or He remove the wicked from my midst.
Hallelujah.
Every day. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And He does. When I go in there to the job, the people, white, black, or different, they treat me with respect. I treat them with respect. And I always say, Father Yah, let me not be a disgrace for you. Let me bring you honor and glory in my job, the work that I do. Let me do the best job I can do to bring you glory.
Right.
And they come to me and ask me about something I don't know nothing about. Can you do this? I said, well, I can try. But before I know it, I did the job. And they said, oh, that was real good work. Thank you. That was real good work. Stuff I haven't done in years,
Hallelujah.
And my point is, we're Israel. The Father's our power, and He can do anything and everything. But we have to stand strong.
Hallelujah.
There's a young man who immediately when I first got there, and I knew it was a test, he's a mail person, and he would bring me all this mail and stuff because I'm the front office secretary.
Right.
And he would come in rolling his eyes and, just acting all funky. Every time you say hello or anything to him, he got something snide remark or something to say.
Right.
And so I just said, And it was on my spirit, and I kept saying, let me pray to the Most High. What's the best way to deal with this?
Right.
So I tried to talk to the young man a couple of times. I tried to tell him, hey, I'm almost 60. Nothing seemed to have gotten through to him. Right. So over about a month's time, every time I see him, I cringe,
Right.
But I went and I petitioned the Most High to give me wisdom in how to deal with him.
Right.
So one day I followed him out into the hallway to ask him, I don't know you, young man. I said, but I don't understand the jokes and things. I said, could I know you as a person? And he said, he called himself my husband.
What?
And I was like, what is this? I was gone.
What?
And this other person was standing in the hallway. Their eyes got real big because everybody in there automatically know I'm an Israelite. I told them from the first day, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen on solid ground. It ain't gonna happen on no weak ground.
Right, right.
So he said, I'm your husband. I said, no, I'm married. And he said, no, that's your husband at home. I'm your husband at work. I said, no, you are not my husband. So I went back. Oh boy, you know, I'm ready to be Deborah now. I'm ready for the war.
That's
but,
funny.
You know what I did? I went back and I thought about it and I prayed and I said, now what's the best way to deal with this young man? Because I'm not sure what his intentions is, and a lot of young people now, they are not trained,
right.
You know, in the right way, and he may think he's doing the right thing. I don't know.
Right.
But what I decided to do was email him a letter, and in the letter, I explained to him who I was. I explained to him that may be acceptable, his brand of humor and all that to other people, but I'm different. I'm an Israelite woman. I'm different.
Hallelujah.
And the honor of somebody calling me their wife or them calling me my husband only belongs to my husband, not anyone else.
Right.
And that I expect respect and I give respect. And he wrote me back and apologized and, you know, said he was sorry and he understood. And I haven't had any more trouble out of him.
That's good.
And I praise the Most High Yah. And I said, we just have to stand up for who we are and have good faith in what the Creator can do for us because He can do everything. Right. I mean, anything going bad, anything going good, and even when we have troubles in our lives, like you were saying just a few minutes ago, sometimes those troubles is a blessing. Somebody robbed my house. They didn't take about 10 or 12 little things out of my house. They didn't even get the real big stuff. Right. But the money that I got from that, I was able to buy another house, addition to the house I got.
Wow.
So I praise the Most High for every single tender mercy because everything is a mercy. None of us earn. We only earn through our faith and our love for Him. So
that's right.
I hope that helps somebody out there. Whatever you're going through, put it in Yah's hands.
That's
He
right.
is able.
That's right.
And do right. No matter what nobody's doing around you, you do right. You know what's right, do right.
Right. That's right.
Love you now.
Torah, Ima.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom. You see, that's what I was talking about earlier. I was speaking about the drawing the line with sisters, right? That you have to draw that line, something to that extent I was speaking about, and let people know exactly where you stand. Because you see, a situation like that could carry on if you don't check it, if you don't open your mouth. We have to be brave and be bold as a lion when it's things that have to do with us and our way of life. You can't be afraid to talk about who you are and what you are. You know, I went down to Panama. My father's in the hospital, so just keep your prayers up for Mr. Roberto Hughes. He's in the hospital. He's having little issues. He's 70. How old is my Abba? About 77? 77 years old. And my father's a very strong man. Even at 77, he still has all his wits. He still speaks very fluidly. He still had, you know, vivid thoughts. But right now, he's just a little bit down because of this surgery that he has to have. And it's been postponed a couple of times because his blood pressure was up too high because he's worrying about the surgery. So went up there this past Sunday, Yom Rishon, me and my other brother. Now, mind you, we're like the brothers who were born outside of his, you know, quote unquote, family life, but we're the ones that were there. And So we're talking to him, and he's, you could see that he's shaking or he's sad or, whatever it is. So they decided, his wife and her sister, they decided they wanted to pray. So I'm listening to the prayer, and everything is in the name of this other deity. So after they were finished with their prayer, I grabbed my father, and I put my arms around him, and I blessed him in the name of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I did the blessing I did the Yivareka Yeho, Yishmoreka, Yair Yeho, Panau Leka, Wikuneka, Yisa Yeho, Panau Leka, Wayasemaka, Shalom. May the Most High God bless thee and keep thee. May he cause his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. I did that blessing on him. And he began to cry. He began to cry. And I never seen my father cry, never heard him. Father's like a tough guy, But he began to cry. He got sad because the visiting time was up. And, being in a hospital by yourself is no fun. You want to be around your family. You want to be around your peoples. So he began to cry. And my other brother, he was a little bit more tough. He told him he had to toughen up. You can't be like this. You can't get weak. This is what's keeping your blood pressure up. And they're not going to be able to do the surgery on him. But he eventually went and hugged him. It's one thing I'm going to tell you. If you got children out there, get some type of relationship with your children. Because you don't want children to grow up with resentment. Especially if you got children that are not doing Torah, whatever the circumstances might have been, or are doing Torah. Make sure you get some time to go see your children, talk to your children, because, Torah, yeah, I know Torah, but, the people that don't know Torah, siblings that don't know Torah, society teach you to be disrespectful to your parents. In Israel, I was taught, no matter the circumstances, my teachers always taught me, no matter the circumstances, because I didn't see my father that much. But I was told that I had to respect no matter what. So that was ingrained in me. And so the respect I have for my father is still the respect that a child would have for any parent. So even though I wasn't around him that much. But, after I did the prayer and I left, I called him a couple of days after. He said, after we finished praying, and then you prayed over me. And then he made a joke. He said, I thought you was like a witch doctor or something like that. He said, you start speaking in some language that I don't even understand. And so he made a joke out of it. I told him, no, that's not, no. I said, that's the original language that holy scriptures, that Old Testament was written in. I said, all I did, I ran off a blessing from India, the blessing that the Most High God gave Aaron to bless the children of Israel. I said, that's straight up Torah. So he was like, no, I'm just kidding. He said, but I'll tell you, he said, I felt like this. He said, when you did it, he said, I felt like chills come up my spines and my hair stood up. He said, and after that, he said, all my fears just left. He said, I felt better. He said, I don't know what it was. He said, but he said, all my fears just left and I felt better. And sure enough, the next day he was scheduled for the surgery. His blood pressure was down. He wasn't nervous. Blood pressure was normal. But the doctor's office, they forgot to send some pints of blood. So he has some pints of blood they had to have there when they do this procedure. They didn't bring them in time, so he has to wait till next Wednesday again. So he told me that whatever I did worked and it helped him out. So I know that the power of the Creator is real. Some people fade away from it and feel like they could do it on their own, but we have to trust the Most High God. And that's where we get our power from. I tell you no lie. I mean, this is what the man told me. And that made me just say, wow. So I was so glad that he was able to testify, you know, because to me, that's testifying before the Creator. Like you're saying that you just don't know how to say it, but you're basically saying, hey, this is what it is. You know, I got this, you know, so I thank the Creator for that. I thank the Creator for what he did for me and for what he did for my father, taking that fear away. And I just hope that he guide the hands of the physician and that everything is, that he'll come out on the other side of that surgery good. So that's where I'm at with it. So you need to, yeah, I'm going to call him. I realized I got this thing on my phone. While I was in Panama, I didn't realize until a week like after. But you know, the new phones have like this, what is it called? It's like a Wi-Fi call plus, something like that, where you can make calls on Wi-Fi. So basically, I can make a long distance call as long as I have the calling code and all that to him, as long as I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and I don't get charged for it because it's a Wi-Fi call. So I could call him like every day and don't worry about, you know, paying some international charges. So that was great. And yes, I think I'm going to call him a couple of days during the week. And this is what I say about parents and your children. You know, it's very difficult for a child to have some type of, how do you say it? I don't want to use the wrong word. That closeness with a parent that was never there. So as you get older, you know, you might know the child, but the child didn't grow up with you, didn't grow up really having you there for all the moments. And so that affection is not there. So when you get older, you feel like, oh, you know, they should be calling me. They're the children. Yeah, they should be calling you. But a lot of times when you don't have that closeness and that bond, or you didn't create that bond, it's hard to try to create it later in life. Tell you Sarah Shalom, and that I missed her too. I missed all my people. You know, I was miserable on Friday nights because I couldn't communicate with y'all. Even if I had Friday nights, if I had Shabbat night talk, I would be a little bit better. But I see how y'all feel sometimes at home. You feel anxious. You feel like you could correct something on the screen. Brother had to tell me, and then I had to take heed to it. It's like, ain't you on vacation? Stay, just enjoy your vacation. And I knew what that meant. I was trying to tell her, all right, don't you think we should do this? Don't you think? They was like, aren't you on vacation? I'm like, yeah. Like, enjoy your vacation. And I understood what that meant. Like, so I just fell back and enjoyed my vacation. It was great advice. And but I tell you, when you're used to doing something, you know, it becomes real tough. So like I said, once again, our brothers and sisters from BINAH, I put the link up there. They had a tragic fire in their building. The roof, water damage from putting out the fire, I imagine, and they need our help. So I put the link already in the chat. Let me put the link again for all of you that might have missed it, so that tomorrow night you can make a donation to their GoFundMe account and help them out. We're here to help out each other. So I threw the link up there again. Save the link. Save that link. I already put it on YouTube. No, I put it on, what's that, Facebook. I'm going to put it on YouTube right now. We got to help each other out. Okay, got you. I think, yeah, Neshama always sends me something. Let me check and see if she sent it to me. So you Shabbat is still on. All right. That's good. I didn't know whether or not it was going to still be on. So Neshama just sent me the flyer. All right, so here it is for the Unity Shabbat. Unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. BINAH Yisrael's Junior Board presents its third annual Youth Shabbat on November 25th, 2017, 7 Kislev 5778, where Jacob Reed's Neighborhood Settlement. Once again, Jacob Reed's Neighborhood Settlement, 10-25 41st Avenue, 10-25 41st Avenue, Long Island City, New York, 11201. Long Island City, New York, 11101. This is Queensbridge, if I'm looking at the address right. It says, for those of you who are familiar with the Queensbridge section of Queens, this is in Queens, New York. Shacharit service, meaning morning's prayers, I believe, Shacharit, 9 a.m. A morning service begins at 10:30 a.m. Lunch will be served for guests. Please email BackBJunior, that's BAKBYJUNIOR, BOARD @gmail.com with any questions, comments. So let me put this email up here. Okay. Let me put the email up here for those of you that are interested and want to attend. You can email BackB Junior Board. I should know how to spell junior and board. @gmail.com. There you go. That's the email right there for all of you who are interested in the youth Unity Shabbat. So hope to see all of you there. So there you go. So like I said, let's stay strong. Let's support our brothers and sisters in their time of need. I've been through this already before, so I know what it takes. I know it's going to take determination, unity. Some people are going to flake off, as we say, are going to drift off. That comes with it. Those are the people that weren't strong anyway. But the core people that are there, that are strong and are holding on and are going to uphold the place and are going to do anything to make the place stand up again, those are the people who are going to make the boat move forward. So once again, I hope that the Most High God bless y'all. And like I said earlier, sometimes a blessing comes out of what seems to be a tragic situation. And the Most High God answers prayers, but he answered them not in the way sometimes that we think, but sometimes in the way that he sees fit. And we don't even know that he's answering it. So once again, may the Most High God bless our brothers and sisters from BINAH. May the Most High God bless each and every one of you. I'm calling it an early night. It's 8:11, but you know the sun go down earlier, so You still got the rest of the night to enjoy with your family, but I'm signing off. Shalom, shalom. May everyone have a blessed Shabbat day. Remember to join us in the AM. We will be on the same bat channel, not the same bat time, but as tonight, but it's 11 a.m. in the morning. We might start a little bit earlier because the sun is going down earlier, so we might start a little bit earlier, being that we have everything established over there already. So once again, thank you the Most High God for all of your lives. May the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless each and every one of you. Shalom, shalom, and everyone have a great night. Shalom, shalom.